Hey, it's MJ. I'm your Atlas to Love, Light, and Life. I got to thinking this morning, I'm like, I have not made a tarot video for such a long time. And if I was one of my viewers, I would miss my videos. I've been staying super busy with a lot of different things, and I just haven't taken the time out of my day to sit down and make a video instead. So this is a little blessing. It's a little gift from me to you. It's a general love reading. This is for twin flames and soulmates, and it's got a little bit of collective information in it as well. And I'll just go ahead and get started. Hit like on this video and subscribe to my channel because I plan on making many more videos. Now that the weather is so nice, because I live in Ohio right now and it's super warm, and even the rainy days are beautiful too. I just get so much inspiration, and this is my main tarot card reading season, so I'm staying super busy with that. But I'm gonna take a moment out, maybe 3 times a week, maybe every day of the week, and start doing more videos again. Okay, enjoy. Okay, so here today I chose 11 tarot cards, and I threw in a runestone, a number card, and a letter card. And I'm just gonna throw them down one by one and tell you what the main messages that I'm getting from them are. Okay. From the Rider-Waite deck, the first card is a reversed Lovers card. And the feel I get here, and this may not be for all of you, but for some of you anyways, it's kind of like you may have a mother figure or a father figure who doesn't really get you or has sort of neglected you in some ways, and either that or they really don't want that much to do with you as you've gotten a little bit older in your life or grown up or whatever. For others, this could represent the loss of a loved one or loved ones, and that could be parents or grandparents or people that were always there for you and you can't go running to them anymore. So either of these scenarios or any of these scenarios may have resulted in some codependent relationships. And it's sort of like having to do your own healing in life, or, you know, it's just that feeling of all on your own. You've become strong on your own. You didn't have somebody to fix your problems for you or show you how it should be or tell you what to do many times. And you have to think of that as a blessing. It was meant to happen that way. I know that's harsh, but take me, for example. This is the case for me. I have a mother who doesn't really want anything to do with me. If I ask her, can we go do something, she doesn't really want to. I mean, she might say yeah sometimes, like, hey, let's do something, but it doesn't really happen. Maybe once a year I see her for like a half an hour or so, and I'm 20 minutes down the road from her. and that's a little bit on my part too, with COVID and all of these things too. I don't really like to go to big family functions, and it always tends to be the type of thing where there's going to be a lot of people in a smaller enclosed area, and I get a little bit nervous about that because I have an autoimmune disorder. My platelet count drops really low when I'm exposed to, you know, diseases or like germs in general, and I really have to watch that. But I have a father who passed away when I was 14, and my mother has a lot. I have 4 other siblings, and it seems like she's very close with all of them and always has been. So I got close with my grandmother, and then my grandmother passed away in, I think, 2013 maybe. So from that time on, I was kind of left on my own. I didn't have somebody to run to. I probably could have called my sisters and stuff like that, but they have their own lives and their own families, and I didn't want to burden anyone. I didn't want to bother people. And it just, this is all part of the ascension process also. We sort of fall away from our our 3D families, and then I've gained a whole soul team, a whole soul family that meets all of my needs in those ways. But for a very, very long time, I was all on my own. And I had to learn certain lessons like over and over again. And it had a lot to do with codependency, and there was some violence and some, you know, the things that are always attached to that kind of stuff happening too. And it's made me a stronger person. And it's why I am who I am today, and how I know that my life purpose is to serve in a different way than many of the people that I've known in my life. Right? So don't boo-hoo. Say, thank you. I understand why it happened that way. And I've lost others too, very close. Family members that I always wished would be, you know, part of my life. But I found ways to really understand it. Like we all do. It comes in time. So the second card here is the Seven of Swords, and that's in the, I think they pronounce it Toth deck. It's the Aleister Crowley deck, and it says futility on the card. It's the Seven of Swords. And this one here, it feels like, I don't know, maybe you put too much effort into some areas of your life, like try too hard or just work yourself into an exhaustion. And this can be so multifaceted. It can be hard physical labor. It can be pleasing other people, people pleasing. It can be being there for all your friends when they need you, or your family in some cases, even when you need that time for yourself. But we want to be wanted, we want to be fulfilling, we want everybody to be happy and satisfied. But this could also be in the area of, I want my enlightenment and I want it now, and I don't want to wait 6 years for these to happen. I don't want to wait and learn that lesson over and over again. I want to work really hard and use my mind to make it happen now. Well, they come in little spurts, little bits, and we're tested over and over again. So don't worry, it's all coming in perfect timing. But it could be overthinking with this card, trying too hard, and just like that self-improvement stuff too. Maybe at times we overdo that stuff, and at other times I mean, there's a maintenance that we all keep up as well, but it's kind of like, in some instances, when it comes to all that information, it can be a little overwhelming if we try and get it all at once too, but it's also that feeling of like striving in vain. And for some of you, it's a situation where it's not really worth it. When it comes to like the people in your direct environment, right here, that's what I'm feeling, because I don't think you can make those people happy anyways. And so, like, at times it's like they're taking away or pulling you away from putting in the effort to satisfy your own needs. So we have to establish a balance, and that's what that card was really saying to me here today. I will go ahead and move on to the 8 coins tattoo tarot deck, and here I pulled the 4 of Wands. Now the 4 of Wands here is showing that you are, or were able to pretty much work through most of that stuff. It happens in cycles, like life is cycles, cyclical, and you've learned how to keep your energy balanced and in harmony, or you're going to, because it's also kind of like homecoming. It's like that freeing feeling of, oh, I made it there. And home can be many different things for many different people, but it's almost as if like you're capable of forgetting any thoughts going through your mind, or words from coming from other people that are directed at bringing you down. So your self-talk is getting better, and energy is very important to you. So it's almost just like other people couldn't really make you feel bad about yourself, and you can work with whatever energy is around you a lot better. And that's like empowering, like, oh my gosh, wow. If I was in this situation 10 years ago, it would have freaked me out. I would be crying, I would be mad, I would be going through all these different stages trying to, you know, cope with something. But now you can almost be amidst complete and total chaos and you're just like, I'm fine and we'll figure this out and it's all gonna work out great. It's like that we've changed our positive self-talk, and but from that spot where we did not feel loved, and then here it's like we were overthinking it or like letting people bother us or get to us, and then here it's like we came home, we're coming home, we got there. I'm so proud of you, and I am very proud of myself too. But I feel like instead, like now, we are capable of only allowing in what is aligned with the higher or greater good, or, you know, our energetic frequency. And that's very important to us. We spend a lot of time working on keeping a frequency that we're content with or that feels right to us. And the clock just struck 11:11, or the timer on this video, so that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna say with these 3 cards, words or lack thereof words can never hurt me. I rise above all that because I know how to. I don't know, just because I can. I couldn't maybe in the past. And so it's beautiful. And this is a collective thing. So when one person gets strong within the collective and another person picks up on that, then they get stronger within the collective. And then like it builds and builds and builds and builds. And we're holding the highest frequency that's ever been held on this planet, at least that we know of, you know, for like maybe way back. In some of those Atlantis, Lemuria, whatever the different names are times. But this is amazing and beautiful and so wonderful to be here, to be home right now. Okay. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to turn my page here because I did take some little notes because there's certain things that I want to like not forget to say when I'm doing the videos. But this card is Water Your Garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Okay, so this is from the Starseed Oracle deck. I was looking up there to make sure that's what it is, and it says Water Your Garden. This card says to nourish yourself. Maybe even like put on the brakes, you know, and like who cares what other people need right now at times, you know, and at least take certain specific times where you take care of yourself. We need to be going within and finding what is your body yearning for? What does it really need? And satisfy that first before you go out and help others. It says in the book for this card, life will bend toward you when you do. And what that made me think of is all of that manifestation stuff, right? And even just picturing or imagining something, that's really the first steps towards manifesting it. And I like to say it like this: show and tell the universe, right? This is what I want and this is what I need, and you really need to feel it. Like, have the feelings, all the feelings, the good feelings and the bad, right? And make sure to express the feelings of why you need it, the yin and the yang. So just show them, this is what it would feel like if I didn't have it, this is what it would feel like if I did have it. And like, you know, rationalize it with intuitively, with feelings. Send that out to your team, to your guides, to your angels, and in your thoughts too. This is what I'm asking for, and this is why I feel like I'm worthy of it. It's not something because I'm trying to be selfish. It's because of, and it can be bodily things. I need this so that my body can be healthy and I can maintain my regular homeostasis and go through my days and serve others the most, as much as I can. Okay, the next deck is the Sun and Moon Tarot deck. Oh, and here's, it's the 6 of Swords, so it says science on the card. Okay, what this card says to me, or said to me when I was looking at them, is that you can figure this out too. Whenever anything comes up in your life that's not pleasing or that does not match your vibration, you can figure that out. We don't have to overreact or underreact. We can stay nice and smooth, right there, balanced in the middle. I mean, all the information is being directed and guided to us on how to solve any problem. And here's a little bit of advice. When we keep our mind occupied and stimulated on other things, like, for example, like they say, like, you use your subconscious mind to be driving, right? And when you're driving down the road, you're looking around, you're driving, and you just know how to do it, and you don't even really have to think about what you're doing. And it just comes to you, whatever you were trying to think of, like, oh, I remember now, or that's the answer. Another time this happens for me is if I go full blown into researching something. And I will. You should see what I scribble down on pages when I'm like in that mode. And it's when I get so much insight on all of the things that if I try to think about the specific thing and focus on the answer to a question that I have, I can't get it. I can't see it, right? But then when I get busy with something else, bam, it comes right away. A lot of times we get our messages through dreams, but we can't really interpret them. We just wake up like knowing. And that's kind of the same there too. And a lot of the stuff that we're stressing about, I do have to say here, it's not really worth stressing about as much as we think it is, because a week goes by and another week goes by and it's something that we were so worried about, and you know, nothing bad really ever ends up happening from it. It just sort of like blows over. Either that, or somebody comes in and helps us, or we just come up with a solution where we can take action and manifest it, because we're all doing a lot of manifesting now. It's unbelievable. Another thing that I'm noticing is that, like, when it comes to like people coming in, everybody seems to know that their person's going to come in before their person comes in, and they tell me and ask me, why? What is this? And how do I know that ahead of time? I don't know. They're getting the signs. They're seeing the things all around them. It's a beautiful thing. And it's all directed. It's all guided. That's just what that card looks like to me. I'm sorry about the allergies. I do all right with the allergies, but if I am speaking, I would say, or suppose, you know, like that's when maybe like I should probably have a glass of water or something with me. But hey, I've been sort of like, I've been healing them. They're not really even affecting me most of the day. Okay, and then another thing that I wanted to mention with this card here is that like a big aha moment for most of us now is like how we're realizing the lesson. We're like, I've suffered this over and over again, or this has been on my mind over and over and over again. Well, when I really go deep inside and I think about that, I can figure out that the reason why this certain thing makes me mad, it all stems from love, right? You know, it's because I was lacking love in some area of my life, and it's something that I think I can sort of, you know, let go now that I understand that the only reason that I needed that was because it made me feel loved by somebody that I didn't think loved me, or whatever the case is. I mean, that would get too specific, and in a generalized reading, it's kind of hard to explain that, but okay. So the next deck I have, we got the Lover's card upright. It's the number 6 and the Major Arcana. Check my notes here. Okay, that deck is called Luminous Spirits. Okay, I was really happy to see this one because we had the reverse Lovers in the beginning. So this shows growth, this shows progression, and it's about halfway through. This card number 6 out of 11 tarot cards, right? Okay, what this told me was, number 1, that we've learned to love ourselves first and foremost. And number 2, we are beginning to, or already have established, you know, measures to stay very balanced with the masculine and the feminine within us. And for many of you, this means union. It's just around the corner for you, if you're not with your person anyways. And that's because it, like, by definition, this card means a union where forces are united. And then a little bit later on, it says like, and it's blessed by nature. Yay! And I think for some people, they have this expectation of, or I guess it's a lack of an expectation. They've kind of like, so many people I talk to have settled. They're like, I'm just not going to be with my person. They're going to be there. I'm going to be here. And I'm okay with that. Now, if you're one of those people, you might be in for a surprise, because if it's happening collectively, it might be happening for you too. It is, but that's not the right attitude to look at it, because then we say, I need that, I know it's coming in. We are expecting it, and when you are expecting something, that's a little complicated also, because to manifest, you say, this is what I want, this is how it's going to feel, and I'm going to get it. But you're not expecting it at any specific time, per se. You know that you're going to be given it right when you need it, but when you're ready. But like, okay, if that's what your mindset is stuck on, there's a masculine and feminine within the one human or individual, and a masculine and feminine within the other human or individual. And what this union could be speaking of in some cases is that both of these individuals are balancing out their masculine and feminine within each other, and that's when union occurs, which can occur from different places or together. I mean, we're basically always in union in a way. One holds the other up and on one of the sides, when the other one's down on the one side, and it just all ends up, everybody balances and it stays that way. And it would be up to the people, individuals involved, whether they would like to come into a physical union or if it works better separate. Because what I'm learning from so many people is that they're in two good relationships, and each relationship is doing so much learning for the other person, and for them it's like 4 people involved, but like it's all one. It's very complicated to explain. Okay, Dreamkeeper's Tarot is next, and it's the reverse 6 of Wands. Okay, so just don't doubt yourself. You have to know that you're protected. You're guided, you have a big team, you've got angels, and I won't get into the complicated specifics of all of that, because it's such a bigger topic and broader and more complex these days. But I don't want to say things that like might push people away, because it sounds a little bit far-fetched. So until I start hearing other people say some of the stuff that has been given to me, then I'll probably keep a lot of that out of the readings. But that's some, why did I even say it? But it's all around us. It's everywhere. You'll hear people say, oh my gosh, you're an earth angel. Or you'll hear people say, you have so many angels. Now we have this preconceived notion of what an angel is. So we think of, oh, an angel. But it's not just angels. It's so much more. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of different, it's complex. Just know that you're never, ever alone. And when I first started to realize all this stuff, we would make little jokes about like, oh, so like when I'm taking a shower, I'm in the bathroom, like I'm not alone. And laugh about that. But it's nothing like, don't be shy. It's energy. So, but that's a fun little joke to make. Okay, so technically, life in or on the school of Earth, it's supposed to be unstable. You're going to be exposed to all the different energies, all the different feelings, all the different thoughts. We have a body, we have a mind, we have a soul. That's the way it's supposed to be, you know. And we'll go around thinking people are mean, and for a long time we'd be like, oh, that hurts me, it offends me, and or this whole group of people, they're all hate mongering, and I'm just like so upset that I live in a world where people are like that. But just by even thinking that, you're joining them. You get to choose what you watch and what you don't watch, and what you pay attention to and what you don't pay attention to, and the AIs are watching that too. So if you want good content, then choose good content and you'll get more of the same. For one thing, you get to choose which people you talk to, and if they're talking about negative things, and you try and tell them, okay, I don't want to talk about that, because I feel like when I talk about that, that's what we're bringing in, that's what we're manifesting, that's what we're pulling into humankind. Just don't even talk about it. Talk about a solution. Or wouldn't it be great if this happened, so that people could be free from those kinds of feelings, or that pain, you know, because pain is love. Everything is love. I can't say it enough. Anything that hurts us, it hurts because we can't have something that we love because of it or whatever. So like a Mother's Day, I was doing this huge global meditation all by my lonesome self, but I started in my town and I spread it out and I spread it out and I spread it out. I've been all around the entire United States many times. So I went to all the different places that I know of, all the different corners of this world. And I didn't just put out love for the mothers who get to love. In fact, I went the other way. I decided to put out love for the mothers who don't get to love. Either they've lost their children to death or to circumstances, or, and then what about the kids or the grown-up adults who don't have that figure in their life? And it's not just mothers, it's the fathers too. It's just the institution of feeling safe and secure and loved, and that can be in so many different places. But so I started like I brought all the light in. I was doing all this healing and I just had tears streaming down my face, but I started thinking maybe it's good to cry. Maybe crying is like loving and it doesn't hurt. Maybe when it feels like we hurt, our heart is open and we're loving. And to me, it was just the most wonderful thing. And in these meditations, I ended up spreading it global, but then I started thinking like, okay, if somebody had passed on or whatever the circumstances are, like what if your mom was in prison, or what if you're in prison and your mom's not, or like just all those circumstances, so many different things, so many people at war and stuff like that now, or, you know, that could be any member of the family, because everybody was a baby at one point in time. And somebody nurtured them, somebody helped them grow, and it could be many different people that did this, and not just a mother. A lot of our mothers weren't really like there for us like that. They're great for lots of different things, but when we really needed them in certain areas like that, we didn't have something in so many different ways. But like, it just made me feel like if a son didn't have his mother for several years or something like that, but like let's say the mom was even alive and stuff like that, like imagine how that son feels when it's a Mother's Day too, or that daughter, or non-gender specific in any way. And that brought it in too, because the genders are changing and everything, and the whole like viewpoint of it is just a bigger, broader picture and perspective. And so I did all this light and like this healing, and I sent it like literally everywhere around and across the entire country, the world, then everywhere. I sent it out all over to all the different corners, just the entirety of it. And I started thinking, what if we could be passing out like little roses to each and every one, not just to the mom, but to the children, to anyone who's ever been a child before, anybody who's ever been a parent, anybody who has never had children of their own, you've still been a child to someone or to something, or the system even, like who knows, but like, so everybody gets a rose, everybody gets a beautiful rose. And I was picturing, you know, I started doing this, like I'm at a cemetery and I was like laying them on the gravestones, and this starts at a small cemetery, but then I couldn't just do it for the moms or the grandmas or the people, the women in general, because that's just wrong. I had to do it for the guys too, or each individual. And as I'm doing this, it got to the point where I realized there was many people, you know, all of our ascended masters, guides, angels at my team, and so many other people like joined me in my meditation. I don't know if people were doing meditations that day that were along the same lines or what, but it was like everyone was helping, everyone was there, and everyone got a rose and everyone got a card, and it was just so freeing for me. And I released so much of this, like this pain or hurt, which just comes from wanting to be loved. And that this doesn't exclude the people who did have their families in the traditional sense either. So everyone gets it. Everyone gets the love, and you get to thinking that's the divine feminine when it goes to the Mother's Day part. within all of us, right? We also have a divine masculine. But I just pictured it like spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading. And when I was a kid, they did like hands across the country or something, or the world, whatever it was. But like, it was kind of like that. I mean, I wouldn't picture everybody holding hands, but everybody was just energetically basically floating and like spreading around the entirety of it all, and like a wall of love being like sent in to anybody who was hurting and anybody who was happy on that day. Just in, you know, this is a gratitude thing. And I just it's kind of hard to explain, you know, what all goes on when you're doing a meditation like that. But it was one of the most lovely feelings I've ever had before in a meditation. Okay, enough with my little story. But the reverse Six of Wands to me, I just feel like outwardly the appearance is that like people are mean, but you have to understand why they're mean. It's because something hurts, which is actually stemming from love, okay? But that's words, and it's, in many cases it is feelings too, but they really can't hurt anything more than like your ego or an ego. So let's not let that affect the collective ego in a sense, if you kind of know what I mean, right? And we've been learning these earth lessons our whole entire lifetimes and this is centuries and centuries and centuries, like since the beginning of time, right? But and look at it like, hey, nobody's perfect, and you and I, everyone, we fall from grace from time to time. And then we all just get up and we try again, and eventually we reach a point where we can trust ourselves and others and appreciate and be grateful for like even the small victories for ourselves, and more like for the collective, for mankind in general, and know that they will be following suit. Anybody that you think is not right or that it's hard to understand it, like we're all at different stages. Everybody gets there. And with the right viewpoint, the world is a pretty great place, and we're all very lucky to be here right now. And this card also makes me think like trust, of how people say anyways, like trust the process and trust the timing. I know we've heard it all before, but it's right, it's true. Okay, and I did an angel tarot card, and this one's called Mahasya. It's the Four of Wands, and it's the number 5. It's God the Savior, and it says rectification. It helps one live in peace with everyone. Now 5 was really sticking out to me, and I just kept getting 555 in my mind. And I have a little chart on my wall here, and it reminds me of some of the number meanings, just to continuously, like, you know, instill it. And 5 is change. Usually 5s, well, 8s are also change, but 5s are there's conflict happening, which denotes the change, and then there's an expansion, an expanded view. Okay, and you have to think of the new world that's coming. It's taking these little changes by little changes by little changes, so that all can all fall into place. And the 5 of Wands, I know that this is the 4 of Wands, and we had already had a 4 of Wands, which is that homecoming. It's, a lot of people say it's the twin flame card, so maybe that's like the big change that is coming in, but little changes have to happen first. And I was drawn to that 5 so much that I started thinking about, like, with the 5 of Wands, we really do live in like this competitive world, right? And some fights or causes are worth fighting for. It kind of stemmed back to some of the other cards, and like others would just be a waste of time, energy, and effort, right? So the 4 of Wands is that celebration and that homecoming, and knowing what's coming for all of us, and just keeping our energy going and all that good stuff. It's about community. We have a whole community, and you could talk to some people about what the stuff that we talk about, and they would say, That's just not right. Everything should be the way it used to be, right? So it has to step from the 4 into the 5 to create the change and expansion happen, so that we can all come home and there will be that celebration. I would also like to say what these cards come in Mahasya, they all do come with it, like a verse, and this one's verse is Seraphim Psalm 34 verse 5. See that 5 again. And that I have a star by that because that was like really what was making me think of it the most. But okay, so this is what the prayer, the verse, it's a verse, not a prayer, is. I sought the Lord, or first, some of us, or source, right? And he or she heard me and delivered me from all of my fears. So just know that you're safe. And to me, it's just all of us learning the new earth stuff, all these new skills, all the way to control our energy, to use, oh my gosh, we have so many gifts and abilities. It's so stinking exciting. It just makes me so happy every day to learn what everybody's got going on. And oh, I hit pause on that. Sorry about that. Okay. And we're all still just figuring out how to like vibe high anyway, in any case, in any circumstance, right? This angel, Mahasya, and that's one that I'd written down as a quote also, is Mahasya helps you to live in peace with the whole world. Yay! That's like exactly what we have coming. It's wonderful and it's great. Okay, so then I did 2 of these. I pulled 2 of these channeled. That's cards here. And, this is for whomever, this applies to. It's for the divine masculines and the divine feminines. But you know who you are. But this can also apply to soulmates also, and not just twin flames. So here are 2 soul messages from your person, right? Okay, this one says, the day I realized our connection was so much more, it scared and excited me at the same time. And the next one is, how is it that I can't stop thinking of you no matter how hard I try to live my life and get you off my mind? And that can, and if you're not in separation, that can be the same. I mean, like, I'm going through my day and I can't stop thinking about you, right? And then card number 11 comes from the Gypsy Witch Tarot deck, which is also a playing card deck, which is super fun. It's a cute little deck, but it's number 4. It's a 4 of spades, and it's number 49. And the I, who didn't know, it's great interest taken by friends. Now this is a love reading. So they, or someone, or many, have taken an interest or great interest in you, and that are watching. Yeah, they're watching what you're doing, and they're waiting to see what you're going to do next. They're watching your every move. Some people, whenever I pull that one, some people think like, oh, they're kind of stalking on me, but that can be a little bit broad too. I'll explain that in a minute, but you've got their attention. And the reason why that can be very broad is if it's not like a social media kind of thing, this can be third eye communication. And it can also refer to you, or they can see. Remember the psychic vision, like that kind of stuff. I was talking about the new skills, that they're very present everywhere. They're all around us. Some people notice them, some people know how to use them, some people don't. So we're all getting there. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. It's the new earth. I'm so excited. It's probably a lot like the old or the first earth, right? Okay, so the number we got was the number 3. I'll just lay that there because that's not like a tarot card, but when I pulled the number 3, it made me think, do a check-in. Sorry about the people. The kids have like a, I don't know if that's a motorcycle, because one guy has a motorcycle down the street, and then there's like one that has like a moped, another teenager, and then an adult is the motorcycle. And then there's also like a 4-wheeler and a golf cart. We live really close to the park, and so people are in and out on our street all the time. It's a little small town, but I like the little feel here. It's super cool. Okay, so when I pulled a 3, it made me think too that we need to do a check-in at least 3 times a day, and take, 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, right? And hold it in for 3 counts. And with the first count, check in with your body. What sensations do I feel? With the second inhalation and holding it in and that breath, check in with your mind. And don't get focused on it or anything. Just say, okay, this is what I've got going on in my mind. It might even be like, I don't want to forget this because it'll make me feel better throughout the rest of the day if I remember something, or whatever the case is for you. It's going to be different for everybody. And then do a check-in with your soul, which would be like that eye on that card, right? Just do a little search in there, and go within yourself too. So see what you feel and what you're getting from your guides, your team, your person. And you want to be focusing while you're doing this on cleansing, balancing, and aligning the 3. Oh my gosh, the motorcycle or whatever came back. Okay, but anytime that I see a 3, when I pull that stuff, it makes me think of the Trinity, and so many different like people or places or religions or whatever, theologians, I don't even know, like whoever you're talking to is going to basically describe that like differently, but it's all the same thing. It is, what are they doing? It doesn't bother me. Sorry that you guys have to hear that though. Okay, so the Trinity is body, mind, and spirit, or soul, right? It's equivalent to that. Like, that's just a little tidbits, a little neat way that I look at it. And the last one that I have here, is, well, not the last one, the last piece of paper that I pulled from my bags, because I have one for numbers and one for letters, was the number N. Okay, and the N can be an initial somewhere in any part of a name, and if that's not your person, then it could be for someone like to be watching out for, that would like to, or is going to come in and help you out in some way or another, or it could be someone who needs your help. Because with my clairs, I got hearing and all the different stuff, fill a need. N for need, right? And I originally thought naughty, but that's just my playful mind, and that's not for everybody. This N could be representing someone needing you also, and angels and guides that are trying to get that message through to you or to them, because you pick up on things that go through other people these days, and sometimes you know it and they don't even know it. It's the way it goes, it's the way it works, but you can pass on a message also. It could be a person needing you. And another extremely, extremely important N, I said it twice on purpose. Another extremely important N word is nature. Nature. Right. Get out into nature daily. We must stay grounded. It's the best way. And I was reading that the best way to stay grounded, and most people would say it sounds silly, but I don't really care. I do it from time to time, as long as neighbors aren't watching. I don't want them to think I'm a freak, but not that I really care, but it's kind of for their benefit. But take your shoes off, stand on the ground, and hug a tree. You'll hear it over and over and over. That tree is rooted and grounded, and it's connected to every tree in the neighborhood. It's connected to the air. It's connected to the water droplets, the light, and everything. Do it, trust me. You can get grounding in seconds versus minutes, hours, whatever it takes for you to get relaxed and, fully grounded and safe and secure and rooted, right? All right, so this is a must in 2022. And if you can't go out and do it, that's fine. Some people can't because of their circumstances or where they live or whatever. It's not people controlling them. I was saying you can't do that, that's weird, or whatever. Then just meditate. I take a walk daily. I think that that's a really great way to stay grounded. And it's so funny. One day I'll have I have cats, and sometimes I take my dog on a walk down there, but if I don't take Gamble, then one of the cats will follow me, wherever I go, and come all the way back with me. It's super cute. They if I'm out there walking by myself, they'll find me on the walk and just come half the way back with me. So then I noticed one day a squirrel followed me all the way down. What the heck? I'm like, when I was making the joke, I'm like Snow White, and I'm being serious, actually. I just really am. Nature's very drawn to me, the animals and critters and stuff. I even have bats outside, and oh, so many more, like that, just to go down the list. But you could also say not just Snow White, because that's funny too, but I'm just like Betty White too, right? It's true. But yeah, it's definitely a must in 2022. So if you can't get out there, then, you know, do a meditation. Just meditate yourself into nature, or listen to some binaural beats or whatever they're called. I've been using those for years. Sound tech, right? We get one more thing. It's a runestone. Doesn't seem to be focusing. Sorry about the allergies. Oh my gosh, I've been flushing my system out with so much water because I don't like taking pills. Allergy pills are stupid. And I've really been healing myself, but as I talk in this camera, I kind of look down and my glasses are pulling my stuff down. So I'll do deep breathing when I'm done and I'll be perfectly fine. All right, so this rune stone is called Nauthiz. Nauthiz. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. Nauthiz. And I was like, oh my gosh, when I looked into the book, because these are a little bit newer to me, the rune stones, and I do look up each of their meanings every time. It said N, period, need. I was like, what? That's what it means. It means need. And the letter N, right after I pulled the N. And I had already decided what I thought that the N stood for, which was like fill a need, and like somebody needs you or you need someone, and that's so weird. Then that the runestone means that. But so it's so cool that I picked up on that like before I even got there, but I'm really not surprised. And this runestone, though, when you really look at the full definition of it, it's showing like how we're all being put through these tests right now. And that's in order to really instill the value of all of these earth lessons and make sure that when tested with the same thing again, we're going to make the same choice, and that it's a moral and value. It's also testing out, can you use your new skills and abilities, your gifts? We're going to keep trying so that you can learn them better and things like that also. And it's also just to make sure, you know, that as a collective, we're ready and strong enough for even more changes. And when I saw that, I was like, yay, I'm so excited. Just keeps getting better and better. All right, thank you for watching my video. Like and subscribe with notifications. Hit that little bell. And we'll see you guys next time. Sorry that I made the video so long. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to watch it in a little bit here after it uploads. All right, stay thankful, stay great, and we will all be blessed collectively. I'm MJ, your Alice to Love, Light, and Life. We're doing it. We're balancing the divine masculine and divine feminine. Everybody's coming into union. We're raising the vibration and healing the planet. We're getting it all ready and set for the new earth. All right, peace, love, and namaste. Later.